Peace, y'all. Before we get started, I felt compelled to remind everyone to stay safe and stay abreast of all the atrocities happening around the world. The people of Palestine, Tigray, Congo, Sudan, Haiti, and countless other territories are currently fighting for their rights and their lives. And if you're choosing to take action, please take every precaution you can. Stay hydrated, stay in groups, cover your face, and please, more than anything, don't lose hope. I've been leaving links to organizations and resources at the bottom of every episode description for a good minute, so please go check those out for places to donate and to find ways to take action today. We're not free until all oppressed people in the States and abroad are free. Much love, stay strong, and stay dangerous. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Maryland-based rapper Foggieraw. We spoke about the Planet of the Apes movies, Michael Jackson music videos, Kill Bill and the films of Quentin Tarantino, the music of DMX, Andre 3000, and Lupe Fiasco, figuring out his sound in college and turning rap into a career, and the creative process behind his music videos, his breakout single Psalm 62, and his latest single Stay Awhile with Ari Lennox. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to a not a morning or an evening episode, but we're back in regular afternoon recording mode over here at Real Notes. I just ate a waffle, so I'm kind of geeked off the waffle. But my name's Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of things, outside, inside, all sides, and I'm with somebody else who's also all over the place, very busy, but just I don't even know. I get tongue twisted often, but this is a fun one for me because this is somebody who I've been noticing just popping up all over the place. He just pulled a damn Ari Lennox feature out of the ether, and that really caught me by surprise. But
against all odds.
Against all odds, we got Prince George's County's, Maryland's best and brightest. We got Foggieraw is here. Foggieraw is in the house. It's really tight to have you here, man. Like I said before, it means the world. So just thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time.
You already know, man. Thank you for having me. It's an honor just to be on this platform now.
Man, yeah, I was just telling everybody else before you got here, I feel like most people, I think I first got tapped in with your shit around the Psalm 62 era, and seeing the video happen. And I mean, you don't know my name. I grew up off Alicia Keys, so I hear the piano, and I'm activated on some Winter Soldier shit. So that was but just seeing, getting the chance to kind of go back and look at everything and just be a part of everything moving forward. There's so much to dig into. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but yeah, I'm gonna ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is what's the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
I watched the Planet of the Apes trilogy. I think it ended before the Planet of the Apes though. I don't know, but for some reason I really like that. I don't know what, the story was cool. I you know what, that one is crazy because I don't really know why I like it so much. It's not the type of movie I would normally like, but I love it though.
So which one did you watch most recently? The third one?
So yeah, I just finished off with the third one. Yeah, The War.
That's fire. See, it's crazy you bring that up because I just watched War for the first time. I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Because I loved Rise and Dawn. Dawn in particular is one of my favorite movies I've seen in the last 10 years. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
But I just never got to see War. So get it, and yeah, I know the new one just dropped too. So yeah, I'm excited to go
see that one. That's what I need to see.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was supposed to link the homie yesterday to go see it, but time and shit. But anyway, tell me how you feel about like how'd you feel about War compared to the other two, and like what is it about the Planet of the Apes movies that really like draws your attention?
I think War specifically, I think it's just like, the story coming to an end, like just seeing all the storylines wrap up, tie in. That's always like, I always like the last movie in a series, because it's just like everything is finally like wrapping up. So I like War. I think I like the Planet of the Apes in general, because I just like the underdog story of it. Like, I feel like I can always relate to like that, or like even I like Lord of the Rings, like Frodo, or like, just like people who is just like underdog once supposed to, and they end up like, what I'm saying, being like the chosen one or something like that. Like, I always like that story. So it's like I wouldn't have thought I would have liked Planet of the Apes, but it was a no-brainer, low key, when you think about it. So
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It like the appeal is just so crazy. It like cuz like it's like at the end of the day it's a science fiction movie, but like the allegory and all the different stuff behind it isn't like it's deep, but you also don't have to look at it on that level. It just works on
Yeah,
so many levels. Like Caesar in particular is such a compelling character, and like and
absolutely.
like and like the effects look amazing. I don't know, like it was like really easy for me to get caught up in everything. And then like watching him get shot at the end of War
Yeah.
for the Planet of the Apes, that shit fucked me up, man.
Nah,
I
I did,
was
I did, I did, I did. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so into it. Like, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole of like, what a gorilla's like. Has anybody had a pet gorilla? Like, all that type stuff. Like, so I was just all into it, bro.
yeah, it's that's real shit. Somehow like I know they're watching us because like I had a Planet of the Apes video make it into my algorithm somehow, and like it was this monkey expert who was talking about like the difference between like chimpanzees and bonobos, which
Mm.
Koba, the guy who died at the end of the second one,
Mm-hmm.
he was a bonobo. Or there's a bunch of bonobos in the third one too, but like the woman was being interviewed. I think it might have been like a GQ thing where they were like
Okay.
talking to her specifically about the movies, and she was like explaining like how chimps and bonobos are in real life, and like how accurate, how like film accurate all the different characters were. It was
Yeah.
like that's the type of shit I love. I love like if I like something a lot, I want to know everything about it.
Everything about it. No, facts, facts, facts.
So yeah, it's just like it just grabbed me, and I'm a definitely try to go see. I think the new one's Kingdom for the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So I'm definitely about to
Is that like a new series, or is it continuing this situation?
So if I remember, I think it's it's a continuation, but it's like I think Kingdom takes place 300 years in the future. So like Caesar and all of
Got it.
them are they've been gone.
Got it. Okay.
So I think there's like a new king who wants to like get at this like stockpile of like old guns they got and wants to like take over. I don't know, but
Okay.
it looks cool, like it looks cool. The effects still look great. I'm like, I just, it's Planet of the Apes. Even if I don't like it, I'm gonna be there because like
I'm gonna be there. Yeah, they got me now. They already got
yeah,
me,
nah,
bro.
they earned it. They get the benefit of the doubt. Like if
Yo,
it's trash, whatever. But like I'm gonna go see it at the very least. Like
hell yeah.
shit. So yeah, nah, let's take it all the way back with you, bro.
Okay.
What's the first movie experience you can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Like first thing that comes to mind for you.
First one that I really, really remember would be Michael Jackson. I think like my dad had this he had this DVD that had all of Michael Jackson's videos on it. Like,
You had that shit too?
oh
Sorry,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
had that too.
yeah,
Please.
yeah. You know that one, it had like black and white, or like
Uh-huh.
all that stuff.
Thriller.
So I used to
Yeah.
watch it over. Me and my little brother just watch it over and over and over and over. So that was like the first like time I really remember like having a DVD that I watched over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be the first one.
Damn, that's such a I'm mad it took me this long to get to it on this show, but like Nigga, I used to watch that shit like every day.
No,
Like
literally, I would come home from school, just watch all his videos over and over again. Like it was like a movie, each one. So it
yeah,
really
nah.
explained a lot to me because it was like, damn, I get. It started explaining to me why I see music videos the way I do, because I can't even see them outside of, you know, theatrical context. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I get it. You know, like my sister and I, we knew the whole Thriller dance. We knew the whole Black and White dance. We knew
Yep.
the whole my favorite was always Remember the Time. I love the Remember
That
the
was your
Time
favorite.
video.
Okay.
Like
My fave was the way you make me feel. That was always my fave.
oh, that's a great one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it would either have to be Remember the Time. I love the end of like I love the Black and White video, like just the whole like the Macaulay Culkin shit at the beginning and the Simpsons at the end and him turning into the Panther, and yeah, it's just so over the top, and
he's
like
the
you said,
greatest
it's just
artist
so
we've ever seen, bro. I'm sorry.
yeah. I mean he's Michael Jackson, bro. Like he's a whole icon. Like I remember exactly where I was when he died. Like I was like on my way to sing at a high school graduation, like in like my best friend's car with his mom, like driving to sing when like we heard it on the radio. Like
yeah,
you know, yeah, he's a like
icon.
but like those videos, and I mean like it goes without saying, but the Thriller video is just like the first 3 times I saw it. No, I saw it the first time, like, you know, like completely uninterrupted. And then I couldn't watch the beginning of the video the next 2 times I watched it because it scared the shit out of me so bad. Like, you know, like the creature effects were like, I'm big on makeup and practical effects in movies and stuff. And just like the transformation, the Wolfman shit, the zombie shit, like, it just it really got
for
me,
that
man.
day. Like it was so accurate for that day. Like it was really good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just like I can't even like like that DVD was it's probably still buried in a corner in my crib somewhere, but it's like that was an important one, you know. Loved it.
Definitely
Loved it. So like as you and I mean like I'm gonna put a tag on that music video bit because that's gonna be important later. But like I wanna but like as you get older and you start to have more life experience and just, you know, just take in more like stimuli and shit. What was like was there a movie that kind of caught you and really connected with you in like an emotional or artistic or spiritual way, like the first capital M movie you ever saw in your life?
First capital M movie. So like I had always been watching movies. So like, you know, I have like it's crazy. I have my memory because my movie stuff was always like what I had at the house on VHS. So or DVD. That's just what you watch. So I remember Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was big for me. Like the first one. I remember Mean Girls. That was big. I used to watch that over and over. Pirates of the Caribbean. I think Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah.
But like, so I was always watching like, you know, whatever movies I was into as a kid. But like when I really got like into my own person and started watching movies, it was definitely, I believe, Kill Bill. That was like when I was like, oh, like this is like some other ish. Like this is like a movie. Like I remember, so it was Kill Bill for me. I say capital M movie. Yep.
Yeah, I mean like a great choice. Like you really can't go wrong with either of those Kill Bill movies. I feel like for a lot of people around our age and a little younger, that was definitely like a come to God moment in terms of like this is cinema type shit, you know.
It's a real movie, like through and through.
Yeah, like the 2 scenes in the first one that always get me were the animated bit about Lucy Liu's character, like near the beginning, like explaining her whole shit, and then of course like her and Uma Thurman's fight, and just like them in the snow, like and the Crazy 88 fight. I don't know, man. Like Kill Bill is really one of those.
Nah, it had everything you needed.
Yeah, and like that, and like I like to think about them both as as one long movie, but if I had to pick a favorite, like if I had to pick between part 1 and part 2, I actually think I fuck with part 2 more. Like as I get older, I appreciate the second one a little more. Like I like the down moments. I like the I like her having to dig out of the I'm having to dig out of the coffin. And the 5-point palm exploding heart
that's
technique.
probably the craziest like bit, like to me, just having to come out that box, like that was crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's like that's
me
a
personally,
I wouldn't.
though, I can't separate though. Like to me, they're just all one movie though.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're not wrong. I like there was a period of time when I felt like I needed to choose, but like if you got 4.5 hours, you just throw them on.
Watch the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. No, they might. Yeah. Like I often think about like what, like if Kill Bill had come out, within the last like 5 years, I think they would have just done what they do on Netflix and just like divvied it up into like 5 or 6 episodes and made it like a limited series. Like I could see that happening easy.
Yeah, easy.
And thinking about the coffin thing, there's this other joint that came out maybe like 10-ish years ago called you ever hear of a movie called Buried before with what's his name? Ryan Reynolds?
I have not, no.
So Buried is this joint about I think he's like a truck driver. He's like a US truck driver in Iraq during the war. And he wakes up in a coffin, buried 6 feet underground. All he has on him is like a lighter, a cell phone, and like a flashlight.
I think I actually do remember this. But I think I saw it a long time ago, actually.
Like I caught it when it was in theaters because I love a crazy concept, and it's just like the whole thing takes place inside a coffin. Like the whole movie until like the last like 10 seconds. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. But...
I think I remember that.
Like that movie is just insane to me. It's like it's a real like it's just like a real nail biter, and like the whole time I'm thinking like, oh, you can't just palm fist your way out like Uma Thurman did. Like it was like I felt bad because I wanted to take it seriously, but at the same time I'm like, you could just do that, right? Like
just punch through it.
Like nah, they were but like that's like for anybody listening who hasn't seen it, like Buried, I think it's called Buried. It's like Buried or Buried Alive or something like that. But it's good shit. Yeah, I mean, like, and you also mentioned some of the earlier stuff talking about Mean Girls specifically, and just like having those movies around that you would just like watch, just like on loop forever and ever. Yeah. One of mine was you ever see the Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore Charlie's Angels movie?
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Yeah, I saw that one. I think we had that one too, I think, on DVD. Now I will say this. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I definitely saw it though. We had it.
Yeah. I was the biggest fan. I like the amount of times I've seen that Charlie's Angels movie. Like, really? Yeah, I don't know, bro. I loved it.
It was the chicks, bro.
Yeah,
it was like chicks, man.
I mean, I mean, like definitely, like at that time, like the three of them were just like they were peak, like like they were gorgeous, and like the movie looked great, and it has one of my favorite openings of any movie ever because it's like them on the plane, and it's got the whole like 60s vibe. They really tried to keep the vibe of the show alive, which I really appreciated, and it's like LL Cool J and the dashiki, and it's I think like Drew Barrymore's in the LL Cool J mask or whatever that, and then like they jump out the plane. I love that Charlie's Angels movie. I think about it a lot.
Now I probably got to run that one back. Maybe as an adult, I'll have a different opinion. I know as a kid, I was like, oh, it's cool.
I feel it. Yeah, it's pretty cheesy, like it's like it's such an early 2000s type of movie. It's also the first time I ever heard Pharoah Monch's Simon Says, because they play it.
Yeah.
They play it, and there's like a villain reveal scene, and they play it, and like that's the first time I ever heard Pharoah Monch in my life. So I owe him.
It's always like such a. I don't know if it's like, how deep people take it, but the music is such an important part to a movie too, though.
Easy.
Such an important part. Like I'll never forget watching Django, and then like hearing that one. I think after Jamie Foxx had he went to the plantation where I think he used to be I think the one that he used to be at.
Yeah.
To get revenge, and then they played the Rick Ross song like in the back of the house. Like, nope, I'm sold. This is the greatest movie I've ever seen. I'm sorry, because it's like you just don't expect that in that movie, and it was just such a moment. Like,
right.
Yeah, so it was like there was no wrong they could have done after that moment for me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I remember that moment. See, I haven't seen Django in like at least 5-6 years, but like I remember that specific moment, and like, and I don't know, man. Like Ross's voice just fit because like I know Tarantino is like a big. I know he likes to think himself like a big rap head and all that shit, but like it's like I think that might have been the first time I'd ever heard like a rap song in a Tarantino movie, and been like, oh, like it really like.
And
like
it was
perfect
exclusive too. Like it never came out. It was just for that.
Yeah, that's so tough. Like, like that's what this podcast exists for. Like moments like that, and just like the synergy, and it's like like in another life I would have been a music supervisor, like picking out moments like that. I like that shit is so cool to me because it really like, like you're kind of like directing the way people are supposed to feel about a particular like that's. I love that
100%.
interplay so much,
100%, 100%.
God, and
he's good at that though. In general, like Tarantino, he's just good at like his music too, though, and letting the music tell a story too. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, because in his last joint, Once Upon a Time in
Hollywood,
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's this cover of California Dreamin' done by somebody who's not. I think the original was done by a group called the Mamas and the Papas, but whoever did the version in Once Upon a Time and on the one he chose, like I heard that in the movie, and then I went back and like I played it. I must have played that back like 7 times that day. I still listen to it on occasion too. That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, bro. You like that movie?
I liked it. I didn't love it like I thought I would. The ending kind of ruined it for me.
I didn't even like it, bro.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I think I've ever felt that way about one of his movies. But I got to be honest, man.
That's cool. So no, I want to know because I got my reasons why I had reservations. Tell me why. I want to know why.
I just felt like it was I felt like there was this just like disconnect with I don't know. There was just I don't want to say culturally because I feel like that's not fair because it is like about like a specific event, like a twist on a specific event. So it's like I don't know if I can even say that, but it just felt culturally a little disconnected to me. So I felt very disconnected from the movie. It just felt like I don't know, just like I'm watching something that's supposed to be high art, but I don't feel any type of connection to anything that's going on. So, that's kind of how I felt throughout it.
You mean like in terms of like the time period or like the references or?
I don't want to say the time period though, because I don't think it's that like we see like stuff that's based on older stuff all the time. It's just more so like, it's really hard to like put my finger on why, but it felt very like disconnected, but shot great, and I think the acting was actually really good too. But I don't know, there was a disconnection there for me because he's definitely my favorite director by far. Like, and it's always this like joke. Like my friends always know like they always be like, "Oh, you've seen Hateful Eight like 88 times," because I just watch it over and over and over and over again. Like I just watch all his movies over and over. So yeah, I'm definitely like a big fan of him though. Like he got like a lot of my favorite movies.
Right. And I mean like it means the most from you saying that you weren't a big fan of Hollywood because you're already like a fan to begin with. So I know you're being honest.
Yeah.
And that's great. Cause how do I want to put, because like I liked it until like I have a lot of feelings about the way he told the story. Cause Sharon Tate is Sharon Tate, and like and like the fact that she died the way she did was really crazy, and like kind of see like you said disconnect, and I had a disconnect too in the sense that like the movie itself, like up until the last like 20 minutes, 30 minutes is like so serious and so grounded and like so just like, like it's like it's trying to tell a specific story and doing it the way he does. Cause like one of the things I really appreciated about it was like Tarantino's known for having like his own ads. He doesn't like make references to stuff that isn't like within the universe. And like he did it this time, it was actually taking place during the time period he likes to reference all the time. So like all the different names and shit made sense. But then the bit where they come and do the home invasion happens, and then like everything gets like super actiony and super gory, and it turns into a completely different kind of movie.
Yeah.
And like her story and the way that she died, it almost felt like disrespectful to me. Like I felt like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, like, it was like almost like they had to get to the action shit. Like, let's just do it. Let's knock it out. Yep.
Like if I was like her family or like somebody on her estate, I'd be like, why'd you do that? Like on some funk flex, like what made you go with that verse? Like I was like really blown by like the tone change, but I love the details, I love the performances, and
and I would say, there's like a certain group of guys that it's like, their stuff is so good, it's like, okay, I'll give you a couple chances. Like maybe I gotta watch this movie 2 or 3 more times to actually get it. So like, I definitely reserve that right, but that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It was like I liked it. Like it's I don't even know where I'd like put it in his filmography or whatever. But
that's definitely last.
I had a lot of feelings about it because I watched it twice, and and the second time I watched it with my lady, and my lady is very like, my lady loves true crime stuff, so she knows. They know everything about the Sharon Tate case and all the cult shit and like the Charles Manson stuff. Like, it's like they were coming at it from like a completely different perspective, and we talked about a lot of that after, and it kind of changed the way I felt about a lot of it. And it was like it was. I want to watch it one more time too, because it's one of those where it takes a while for it to fully sink in. But I'm like on the fence, leaning a little closer to like than dislike. I don't know. It's weird.
I feel that.
It's complicated.
I can respect it.
So before we move on and we get to the music, I want to know what your favorite Tarantino movie is. You already said Kill Bill. Sorry, my fault.
No. That was like the first. No. That was like the first movie, capital M.
Okay, cool. So what's your favorite?
So it fluctuates from Hateful Eight to Django to Inglourious Basterds, but I think I'm leaning toward it's just Django though.
Yeah.
But it's between Django and Hateful Eight though.
Okay.
Like really, yeah.
See, that's interesting. I would personally put Hateful Eight a little further to the back. I didn't love Hateful Eight.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, but see, like when I tell you I love that movie, bro. Man. I don't even. It's just like, I don't know. I'm here for, but I want to know why. Like, why it's not one of your favorite stuff.
So I saw it for the first time when it first came out. It's because all of his movies are super expansive and they're all long. Yes. This one, it just dragged in a way that a lot of his others don't for me.
Yeah.
But like you said, I want to give it another shot because it's been 10 years since I've seen it. Like back when I was writing like full blown movie reviews, I like screened it. They had like a critic screening and I like saw it there, but I haven't, because I know they put out like an extended cut on Netflix that they split up into episodes.
I even watched that one over and over again too, bro.
And it's crazy because like I love Sam Jackson in the movie, but it just didn't like as a whole thing, it just didn't grab me the way the rest of the way the others did.
I feel. And it is like in one spot damn near the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. Which like I'm not opposed to that. Like I like a movie that can take a lot out of one setting and not need to be in 80 different places. But it just like, I don't know. Like I haven't really even thought about it in a long time. But Like
Wow.
I'd be interested in trying it again because it's like I think I'm coming up on that point where it might just be time to watch every Tarantino movie. Just
Again,
like
yeah. Just
yeah,
sit
like
it again. Yep.
cause I'm gonna tell you my three favorites. My number
Okay.
one has always been Jackie Brown. I love Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown is good. Jackie Brown is good.
It like so it's like that's my number. Like, well, I also got a rotating
But
top three.
people will be saying like, if that's your favorite, then it's like, are you really a Tarantino? Like, because I think they're like that's his most like not. It's like his kind of most off movie of his movies. You know what I'm saying?
In what sense?
Like, I feel like that's not like. I feel like he was a little bit. And let me say this is my opinion. It felt like he had other people in the room, and he was like, there were other opinions, and he was being more of a team player with that, as opposed to like, in his other movies, you can tell that's just him in his bag doing whatever he wants to do at any point.
Okay.
That's how I felt.
Okay.
That's how I felt.
That's no, I appreciate that because that's the first time I've ever heard that, and I've never thought to look at the movie that way. But I mean, like, it's personally my favorite, but I would also like, but like I said, it's like a rotating top three, and I would put Bastards, and
Okay, you got
I want,
Bastards. Bastards is crazy, bro.
yeah, like 3 days out of 7, Bastards is my favorite one.
Yeah.
But it's really between Jackie Brown and Inglourious Bastards. But if I
What
had
is
to
it
pick a
about Jackie
third,
Brown that makes it your favorite?
like I don't like the costumes, like the costumes, the clothes, the music, the story's great. I love. I've been a Pam Grier fan my entire life, so just like anything she's in, I'm watching it. No questions asked. But like I love Sam Jackson in it. I just love the progression and just like the whole aesthetic and atmosphere of the whole movie. Like I love Jackie Brown. It fits. Like I put it on and it's just lock in. It's Pam Grier, Robert Forster,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
Sam Jackson. Like the
yeah,
cast is stacked, and
yeah.
I don't know. Like and it's weird because
And
like
I
it's
think I literally
weird.
just watched it like about like 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, crazy. See, I haven't seen it in a few years. I got it's definitely time to. It's interesting that that's my favorite because like because like I've talked about this a bunch on here because Tarantino comes up a lot naturally, but like Tarantino's got a weird relationship with black people sometimes. He's like
I know,
he
bro.
like fetishizes black culture to like a really creepy extent, which is why sometimes I gotta like look at myself and it's like, but Jackie Brown's your favorite movie, but this guy is on bullshit. It's weird, but I love the movie. He's Tarantino's a complicated dude for a lot of reasons,
For
but
sure.
there's also a reason that he's like Michael Jackson. He's an icon. Like he's like
100%.
he's like a lot of people's gateway into like trying to think of the word. Artful's not the word. Like he's definitely like people's gateway into like independent like indie movies. Like I feel like
Yes, yes.
he's gonna be like 90% of people's, like, people are gonna see Pulp Fiction, it's gonna blow their brain out, and then they're
100%.
gonna go off and find all the other stuff. And
And
I love.
we got to show love to Reservoir Dogs. I forgot about that too.
Oh
We got to show
yeah,
love. Yeah.
come on, yeah. Reservoir, yeah, like, and it's crazy because like Reservoir Dogs is like the most like reserved of all his movies, which is crazy to say because it's not reserved. Like somebody gets their ear cut off, bro. Like that's not a calm movie, but like
I know.
it's yeah, like Tarantino is somebody, like my relationship to him and his movies is always, I'm always interrogating it, always changing it, because it's like there's so many different things to consider. And like just as like a rap dude, like he's somebody who's like remixing and like like he's effectively sampling all his favorite old movies at all times.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like a
that's,
lot of artists too, like they really can relate to him as a director because he definitely moves like damn near like a rapper. Like you just said it, like the way he puts things together and breaks rules is very like hip hop. So I feel like a lot of artists always resonate with him.
Yeah, he be getting too comfortable in that woo wear for me though.
I know. He do. He let it fly, bro.
Hey man, he's once again, like that's somebody, like I'm always gonna check for him. I'm kind of sad that that movie critic movie he was gonna do isn't gonna happen anymore. He just said officially that he's not doing the movie critic anymore. Or I think it's called the film critic. Either way, like that movie's not happening anymore. I was kind of sad that he decided to pull the plug on it. But
I remember he was saying he was going to be done, but I don't remember what's going on with that though. I hope that's not true.
Yeah, because he said the film critic was going to be his last. It was going to be his 10th and final movie. Mm-hmm. But he said he's not doing that, and I think he said he's not retiring. So
that's good.
Yeah, so he'll be here for a bit more.
That's good, man.
So let's jump over to music. Okay. When did music become capital M music for you? Like, when did it become something that went from being like a passive thing to being something like, you're like not even in terms of making it, but just in terms of like you being fascinated by music?
It was definitely for me 7th grade.
Yo, my fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the all new Real Notes Patreon page real quick. If you're looking for ways to connect and directly support the podcast, the Real Notes Patreon is the best way to do so. For as little as $5 a month, you can gain early day before access to every forthcoming episode of Real Notes, as well as an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, where you can talk to others about the latest and greatest in movies and music, come through for some listening sessions, and talk about whatever else is on your mind. I know I'm gonna be talking a bunch. If you feel like coming up off a little bit more, you could get cool exclusive content like audio from Real Notes Live and Real Talk interviews. Those will be exclusive to patrons and ticket holders moving forward. Access to retro versions of my 60-second Minute Maid movie reviews, and even a monthly writing and podcasting workshop hosted by me. Regular episodes will still be available on a weekly basis anywhere you get your podcasts, but if you want the extras, you gotta come out them pockets a bit. Check us out at patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES. I appreciate your consideration and support more than you know. Now let's get back to talking.
I got a shout out when I first heard DMX, What These Bitches Want From a Nigga. That was definitely like my coming of age moment with hip hop, because I just felt like I just didn't understand that you could do things like that in music, like speak like that, have a concept like that, all that stuff. So that was that when I was young. I was probably like 2nd, 1st grade or something like that. Then 7th grade, I was selling CDs. Like I would go to Walmart and like, go buy like a pack of like blank CDs. And then this is like when LimeWire first came out, and like my friends at school didn't have it. I was like the only one who had it. So I just get everybody to make lists. I'm like, oh, what songs you need? And I come back to school and sell all the CDs for like $5 a pop. And then so it just had me listening to so much music. Like, so I just knew like damn near everything at that age. So I was like, okay, that was like when music became like almost like I work in music, like low key. Yeah.
So you were like burning CDs and like selling them in school. That's great. Like I can't tell you how many people I knew who were I knew people who did it like at my school, but like growing up and like coming here and working where I work now, like so many of like my closest friends in this shit came up like selling CDs to people. There was always that one person in school who had like the new Wayne tape, or like the new like Jeezy shit, or like the new Dipset, whatever. Like somebody would have what you needed.
Yeah.
Like and just like and then on top of that, we were also like burning CDs for ourselves and for other people. You like that was when you would like when you wanted to make a mixtape for somebody you were feeling, like you would literally make it in iTunes and burn the shit to a CD and give it
literally, bro. Literally. Man, and there was like certain settings you had to do to like make sure like I think you could take it the extra mile and make sure like when they downloaded it to their iPod, they had like the album cover and stuff. Like it was just all this stuff like I would do. So I was like super in it.
Yeah, no, like it's like you're kind of learning and embracing. You're learning about and embracing curation like real young, and just like learning how important it is to like present a thing. Like whether that's in like a monetary or romantic context, like whatever. But like that like yeah, that like that's you're speaking right to my heart with that shit. And I'm mad because my phone messed up and I didn't hear what you said your first big album was. Like the first 10 seconds of what you said got cut off
Oh
because my
yeah.
headphones were being stupid.
No, I said it was DMX. What these bitches want from a nigga.
There you go. Okay, man,
Yeah.
that song is insane.
No, bro. Like I remember being a kid because I think my brother, my older brother, he was like I think he was in college or something like that, and then like he had this friend who like had this laptop just full of all these songs, like so he let me go through his laptop and just listen to songs. So I remember seeing that title, like, wait, what? There's a song called "What These Bitches Want from a Nigga." So I clicked it, and it was the craziest thing I had ever heard in my life. And that's when I was just like, oh nah, like whatever this is, I need that. Like, I need that. And I was on
Yeah,
it, bro.
nah, yeah, nah. X's voice was something else. I can't remember the first DMX song I ever heard, but it was in Def Jam Vendetta because he was in Def Jam
Hell
Vendetta.
yeah, hell
I
yeah.
want to say it was the intro to It's Dark and Hell is Hot. That's the first DMX
Oh
song I
yeah,
ever heard.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Cause around that time, the movie with him and Jet Li, Cradle to the Grave, came out, and of
Hail
course,
to the
like X Don't Give It
grave,
to You is
yeah,
on it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like that was yeah, like yeah, not like X was
Rest in
like
peace,
that
man. One of the goats, man, for real.
for real, bro. Like
Yeah, for real.
I just went back to Flesh in My Flesh not too long ago, and he was different,
He was,
like
yo.
just he just had this magnetism to him that like because like he's super religious. I'm not super religious. Like I felt everything he said.
Yep,
Like it's
yep.
like
Because it was coming
he
from an
was
authentic place.
right. He just
Mhm.
he just he just kind of had that, like he just kind of had that like preacher magnetism that like really just like draws you to somebody, even if you're not of the same vocation, like you hear it and you can't help but feel compelled. Like he was one of those
Yeah, definitely. Rest
for
in
sure.
peace, one of the goats, for real.
Yeah, that was sad. I remember being really sad when I heard the last album that they put out, and I kind of hated it. I thought it was really bad, and it was sad that came out when it did because
Yeah.
it felt like kind of a sour note for him to go out on, and I was a little depressed about it. But
Well, that's one thing about artists. Like, one thing I've just seen, with all artists is, everyone, no one stays like the best artist forever. You don't stay in your
yeah,
prime forever. And as an artist, it's so hard to, come to terms with that because it's like, you've just been this artist and you've been expressing your whole life, but you get to the point where you're not as, formidable as you were when you're younger. So you're trying to like battle with, that's why I always like everyone's always like Andre 3000 needs to do this or Lauren Hill needs to do this. I'm like, nah, it's like a real wrestle. So it's like, you got to just try to have that grace with, artists as they age, because it's definitely like a really weird thing to go through to like not be as good as you once were, but you still are 100% still functioning as an artist the way you always been. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's definitely something I have to I gotta tell myself on occasion because like I'd love a new Andre album, but if he doesn't want to give it to us, if he doesn't want to rap like that, that's on him. And because at the end of the day, if we tried to force it and then it turns out bad, we're all
you
gonna
know,
complain that it's bad.
you know,
So like
you know.
yeah. So like
People will knock you down. Like you could be like, let's say you like a top, because I'm like Andre 3000 is a top 5 rapper of all time to me.
yeah,
And if you he put out an album by himself solo, and it's not what everybody wanted to be. Everybody's like, well, is he even top 5? Is he this? And sometimes it's like,
right.
who knows? It's not worth it.
Yeah,
If I'm
I
not
mean
feeling that
like
strongly, it's not worth it, man.
right. Like to me, he's untouchable. Like he's one of the best to ever do it. I like my top five changes too much to have like a
You don't got your
solid
top 5?
five. Like I'm like I got a top five, but
It's
it,
not
it
solid.
always
It's moving.
yeah. It's like there's two artists in my top five who are always gonna be in there, and they're gonna be Doom
Oh,
and
that
yeah.
guy.
It's
That guy.
it's gonna be like yeah. it's always gonna be like Doom and Currency. Doom and Currency are always in my top 5.
Wow.
And then,
Wait, so you like, and this is like your personal top 5?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Doom. I mean, I'm not too like familiar with Currency, but Doom is like, I mean, bro, he is everything that like you need hip hop to be ever, bro.
Yeah. Like his writing, like just like the way he writes, the way he puts words together, the rhyme schemes, the aesthetic, the Marvel comic shit. Like he's like Doom has like Doom will always be my favorite rapper of all time. Like from the time I discovered him, like it was a rap. I was hooked. But like I have like a rotating list of my favorite rappers of all time, but Doom is always going to be in there. Currency is usually going to be in there because I love like I'm a lifestyle rap guy. Like I love just like kick back, talk about like your sneakers and cars, and then like but I'm also like the detailed lyrical miracle dude at the same time. Like I'm like right in the middle of both of those things. So like it's I don't know. There was a period of time where I had a solidified top 5, but like if I were to give 5 right now, they would probably be Doom, Currency, Missy Elliott,
Okay.
probably Andre,
Okay.
and
It's tricky. Where you gonna go?
yeah, I'm gonna say
I want to guess what you're gonna say, but I'm probably gonna be wrong, so I'm gonna let you say it.
Man, hang on. I gotta take a quick look at something.
I was gonna guess you were gonna say Lupe, but I could be wrong there.
See, he would have been a good choice. I love Food and Liquor. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. I don't know that I consider Lupe one of my favorite rappers of all. It's weird because I kind of want to. It feels natural to say that,
it does feel natural.
but like,
I mean, no, I definitely get it. Like, you know, Lupe for me too. He was even like, especially because me, I was a skateboard kid too, so it's like he definitely. I just felt so seen in him that I could always relate because he was like a fresh skateboarder, like so I could always like relate to that. But you know, things did get dicey after that third album, so you know, I always get it. Like I always get it with him.
You know what's crazy? I don't love The Cool as much as I used to.
Really?
I went back and listened to it. There's some duds on that album.
What's a dud on there, bro? Be real. What's a dud on there?
So I'm gonna say Put You On didn't age well. I gotta go through the track list real quick because
because the only dud I got on there is Go Go Gadget Flow for me, and people love that song.
So let me pick out a couple. High Definition, not a good song.
Oh,
don't love it. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't love High Definition. High def. So take High Definition off. Take Streets on Fire off. Take
can't do that, but okay.
Hello Goodbye gone. The Die gone. Put You On Game gone.
But you don't even have The Cool if you take off Put You On Game and The Die.
I know, but I don't like the beats, man. And that's always, and that's been a thing with Lupe forever. He doesn't pick the so okay, let me back up.
Okay.
So he was in a rock band called Japanese Cartoon that I really liked for a bit.
I think I do remember that. I think I do remember that, yep.
But like some of the like pop rockish beats he would choose just I couldn't take them and I because it's never. So like I want to say for the record, in case anybody hears this, it's never been about Lupe as a rapper. I've always loved Lupe as a rapper. He's always been diamond sharp on that shit. But like his ear for beats just wasn't like going back and revisiting it within the last couple months. Like some of my favorite songs of his are on The Cool. Like The Coolest, crazy.
I think some of his best rapping is on The Cool too.
I think so too. You know, like Gold Watch is one of my favorite songs of his ever. Hip Hop Saved My Life is nuts. Little Weapon sounds like it could have been written yesterday. You know, like I think I actually can like agree with you on the beats. Like I think that
I would say that definitely for like stuff like, you know, Hello Goodbye and like The Streets on Fire. Like, I just feel like that stuff was more, it always felt like this is like more like alternative rock type music that someone like me who didn't listen to any of that stuff could more digest and understand. So
I
I
get
always
that.
appreciated that. But I will say, I feel like I feel like that whole project should have just been a whole DVD because he made it, I feel like, to be seen, but it was only heard. So, and obviously it took like that's like it's such a classic album. I think it just hit platinum, but it took so long. Like it was climbing
Yeah.
and climbing and climbing. I just feel like nah, it was beyond classic, but I think it needed like visual. That's personally what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like like there's just like 5 or 6 songs I could take off it, and if it's that, to me, I'm like, I'll just kind of go and pick and choose the ones I want
Pick
to
and
listen
choose
to
the one.
whenever.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially considering how conceptual it is. Like if it doesn't all fit the concept, like what are we doing here? You know,
You know,
like
I
to
always,
me
you know,
anyway.
I'm glad you brought that up because as a kid, I remember like I would listen to it all the way through, like for the concept value, and then I'm just like, low key, like the concept is really, it's only these 4 songs. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of them kind of just don't fit the concept, and I always just like never brought that up, but I'm glad you said that because it's like it really is only 3, 4 songs where you see the concept of the album.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I feel like Food and Liquor is more is like more solid conceptually than that album. Like to me, that's still his best album. It's like I said, like one of my favorites of all time. I got the chance to do liner notes for it for Final Me Please. Like I like that was like an honor when they reached out about that shit. But like, but but I'm gonna tell you something before we
Yeah.
move on
Mhm.
about like thinking back on that era. There's an album that I've been going back to a lot more recently that you might be surprised by. Rich Boy's album.
Really?
Yeah, like I
It's
went back
good?
and revisit. Yeah, I like it. You know, it like I went back and revisited it because Throw Some D's is one of my favorite songs ever. Like that's like I'll throw that on and just like listen to it for however, like I don't know, like that song is a classic to me.
No, he was
But
rapping his ass off on Throw Some D's, bro.
son, like
He was rapping his ass off, bro.
and the fucking and then the remix with Andre and Kanye
Yep.
on it. Like
Yep.
don't even get me started. But
Yep.
like but like one day I felt compelled to go back and revisit it. It's not a perfect album. There's some duds on it, but there's
Mhm.
a lot there's some records on that album. Like a
I'm gonna go
lot,
back
like
and listen. I'm gonna go back and listen.
way more than I remember. Like and a lot of it comes down to the beats. Like there's some like Neptunes ish sound and stuff there that I wasn't expecting to hear, and like because like I listened to it when it came out, but like I was also just like I just wanted to hear Throw Some D's, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wasn't super tapped in on it like that. But you know, like that was like I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna probably get creamed and it's fine, but like I found myself enjoying listening to the Rich Boy album all the way through more than I enjoyed re-listening to the Cool all the way through.
Oh, yeah. All right, get ready, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, just
That's
get
fine.
ready, man. But no, I actually have to listen to it because I would say that like anybody who can make Throw Some D's could probably make a whole bunch of other good songs. So I definitely got to check it out.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm gonna say, like all love to Lupe. Like you're amazing, bro. Like I get it. Like
He said, "I get it."
I I get why you were at Kendrick's neck a couple weeks ago. You deserve it. Like you're like you've been fire. I love you. The Cool's not my favorite. But
You know, I'm probably so biased to the Cool. So yeah, because I would definitely say Food and Liquor is definitely my favorite too. So I actually agree with you though.
it's you know like these are the conversations that this is all just conversations, and like it feels real, and I appreciate you hearing me.
Yeah, I know. I'm even probably going into detail I shouldn't even go to, but I just like this vibe. Like we cool.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. So considering all of that,
Yep.
as you start to get older, and you like when did you first know that music was going to become more than just a hobby for you? Like when did you know you were going to like make it?
It was my last year of college and I had been rapping since I got in college. and then just like taking it slow, real slow though. And then I had I think it was like this moment where I won second place at the talent show. That was like the school talent show to like open up for whoever was coming for homecoming. So I won second place, but it was really like I won first place because like first place was this whole ass like, you know, 18-piece band or something. So yeah, so that was a big thing. And then I remember people at school started kind of like paying attention to me. Then I had this one song and it went up. Like, I think when it dropped, like it had like it went like something on Spotify. It was some kind of weird like viral 50 playlist type thing it went on and it was getting a lot of attention. So at that moment, I was like, okay, well, when I graduate, I'm definitely not getting a real job. Like, I'm definitely just, I'm gonna get straight to this music thing. So, got out of school, and then I think like that week I graduated, I went on tour with my friend. He was like an indie rapper, and he had like a little tour up north and a little bit in the East Coast. We just got on tour, did that, then I moved to Cali right after that, and I was just chasing it ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because um I know Octavius Vandross came out around like what was that, like
I think
2018?
2018. Yeah,
Yeah,
2018.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Was like when did you get out of school? Like when like did that album happen before or after you left school?
No, that was after. So I got in
Okay. Okay. So,
2017, I graduated. I put out a couple songs, had a couple videos, and that's when I kind of started getting like the label talks, and so I
right.
was entertaining that a little bit, but everything just kind of felt like we're not there yet. So I left that alone. I was like, I'm gonna just go back home. I'm gonna work on my album and just get it out. And then when I put out that project, that was really what kind of like, took my career at that time to a different level.
Right.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool. So, before we get into all of that,
Hmm.
like you're from PG County, and
Yes.
you've already talked so much about like how, you found so much different music on the internet, and we're just like passing out tapes and selling tapes. So, like, talk to me about how PG County influenced the way you make music, and how you first started to refine what would eventually become the Foggieraw sound.
Okay, so yeah, PG County, it's such a like interesting area because it's a very slept on area, but we have so much talent. Like there's actually like it would like blow your mind the list of like talented, famous people even like that come from PG County. But I think the influence PG County had was it's like one of the rich, I think it's like it was like top three like richest black counties like in
Mm-hmm.
America. But
Yeah.
it's like it's an interesting place because it's like we have a lot of resource in PG County, but it's also like kind of like ghetto and like a lot of hood stuff going on. So it's like there's always this dynamic someone from PG has of like you're very hood rich. Like you really understand all like the ghetto shit, but you really do understand like you have a lot of education and like resource and understanding of different type of thing. Like you're very worldly. So I
Right.
feel like it definitely influenced my music because my music I feel like was always very like I would say like it was like hip hop and it got like a little bit of the ignorance of hip hop and stuff like that, but it also like sounds like I went to college like as a lot of people do from PG County and stuff like that. So it's very like dynamic in that way, I say.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, like I'm like even re-listening to like Octavius Vandross, and just like the range that's on that album by itself. Like you're talking about so many different things over so many
Hmm.
different kinds of beats, and like going even further back into like the SoundCloud,
Hmm.
into like the SoundCloud archives, like
Hmm.
with the series you did and like all the different singles, like
Yeah.
you were already displaying a pretty crazy range
Nah,
before things
if you're
really
from PG, bro, you're gonna have range. Like that's like you're gonna have it
yeah.
just off bucks, you know?
Yeah, and like the two I mean, like there's more obviously, but the two I always think of or 3 actually, because there's like 3 rappers I always think of when I think of PG County. There's Odyssey, there's
Yep.
Red Veil,
Yep.
and there's my homie Crash Prez, who's also from that area. Shout out to Michael if you're listening. But you know, like just like just like y'all really just the range is always so impressive, like across
Yeah.
different kinds of rap, different kinds of music. Like that shit's just cool as hell to me. I like it a lot.
Nah, and you know, I gotta get him to Crash Press, but Odyssey, Red Veil, I think like those are homies. Like it's just like, and I'm telling you, bro, like the list, it goes on forever. Like there's so many rappers, like, and people you would never guess, like artists you would never guess. So yeah, like we it's something in the water over there for sure.
Yeah, man. Like y'all, yeah, no, like y'all got it. Y'all been had it.
Yeah.
And you know, like as you started to develop yourself and you put out this album and a bunch of other things happened. But like what I want to focus on real quick is like I feel like things really started to pick up for you after 2 particular points,
Yes.
being You Can't Be My Baby
Yeah.
and Psalm 62. I feel
Yeah.
like those two are kind of like the keys to that have kind of taken you to where you are now. So like talk to me about making both those songs, the reactions to both those songs, and the doors that those songs open for you.
Okay, so for You Can't Be My Baby, I think at that time I was still in college, and I was like super close to graduating though, but I was in college. I was starting to like do shows and stuff. So at that time, like I had this really weird relationship with my teachers because I was never coming to class, but I was kind of like talking to them all the time, like, you know, you guys got to help me graduate, please, because like I'm not coming back to school, like, So you know that we was having that relationship, and I'm working on music like all day now. So that one, I think DJ Young Vamp, he did the beat, and it was a beat like he already had on the SoundCloud, and I just took it. I think I like looped it because he had like a whole bunch of random 50 Cent vocals on it. So like I just looped it at like some different parts, made my song, and then he was like, "Oh, just give me like a couple dollars," and so I paid him, got it out, and it just went like crazy from the jump. And I remember I was like, "Oh, this is cool." So one of my friends from around the neighborhood, his name Retro Spectro, he was like, "Oh yeah, let me put this in my video. Like I'm gonna make a video, like a comedy skit to it. I'm gonna put it in the background." And he did it, and then it really just started going crazy. So then my boy, rest in peace, Tanner, his name was like T Ross the Giant at the time. He was directing all my videos, and he was like, "Man, we gotta do a video for this." So we literally just grabbed the skateboard, went to like I was in San Diego at this time. So we went to
Right.
San Diego, and then we went to like Oceanside Pier, I think, and we just like started doing random stuff. And then the video just like took off. And that was like the first like kind of like real moment that I had in my career. Like so that was that. And then for Song 62 was pretty much like the same. Like I was doing videos and just I was getting to a weird point where I was kind of like gonna like low key like stop making music. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just like be a model and be like an actor, and I'll just like make music just like as my passion thing because that's just what I like to do. So
Right.
that's why I stopped releasing music, and then I would just make the video because it was just a cool expression, and I didn't have to wait for Spotify and clearances and all this stuff. I'm just doing it. So we did 2 videos, and I felt like the process was real fun. So every week, me and the videographer, we were like, now let's challenge ourselves. Like let's try to like do things that we think we can't do. So I immediately had the idea like, oh, okay, I'm gonna flip like some Alicia Keys, but I want to kind of like flip the video too. And then I called my homegirl Logan and my homeboy Jalen, and we went to the Waffle House and we were like, they're like, yeah, you can't shoot in here. We were like, please, like it's for a school project. Like, can we just do it? And it definitely was not in school. And then the girl, she was real cool. She just let us do it in the corner. She even like sectioned it off for us. So we just did it. And I knew when I watched it, I was like, man, this video is fire. Like, I think this is one of my best videos. But you never know, if it's gonna go that crazy or not. But I remember
Right.
posting it, and it was just like, what is going on, bro?
Yeah, son. I like around the time it came out, I can't tell you how many like friends of mine who like aren't even involved in music. Like I just it moved. It like really grew legs and just started popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Like people like you know like people who don't know music like that were like, oh, this is crazy. Da, da, da. You know, like I was like, it really just caught a crazy wave, and it and you're like I think part of the reason that happened is because of the video, like
Yeah.
because of the you know like not even just you recreating like the bit from with Alicia and Most Def in the original "You Don't Know My Name" video, but just like the general aesthetic of it, like I was just like the cinematography on it, like in all of your videos, I've been noticing there's just like there's a lot of gold and a lot of like yellow overtones in a lot of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that aspect of it a lot. Like it's really pleasing to look at, and just like whether it's like the golds, like whether it's like the jewelry or the fronts, or just like the general lighting, and just like everything about it is so soft and warm and intimate, and like that's reflected in the music. And then of course, you know, like I just appreciate the fact that you take like you and your team. um I think the cinematographer was Nehemiah Wilson, I think,
Yeah,
right, for Psalm 62.
Nehemiah Wilson. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, like you know, like yeah, like shout out to them for real. Like I like just it just made me so happy to see somebody who like truly, you could tell you cared about music videos. You could, and you know, like you mentioned it earlier, like you
Yeah.
mentioned that like music videos were really important to you. And like when I saw that, the first thing I thought was like, oh, this dude cares about videos. And like like there's conversations that I hear all the time from people who are like, oh, the video doesn't matter, nobody watches videos anymore, they don't matter no more, like, you know, we don't have like 106 in Park and TRL anymore, so nobody gives a
Yeah.
shit. But like people care about these videos. And seeing that, I was like, there's somebody who cares. And like look at all these people who were fucking with, you know, like it just made me happy to see because of that. Like I really felt like I felt like a kindred spirit thing there. I was like, okay, so somebody else gives a shit
Yeah.
about this, you know?
Nah, yeah, nah. Videos, I mean, videos, I always used to tell like my friend Tam, I'd be like, man, like once a song got a video, it's like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of like archived in a different way that's different from just a song by itself. So
Right.
I always took videos very serious, and I felt like around the Psalm 62 time, because I always had these crazy ideas for videos, but I just never felt like you could actually get them accomplished. So I would always
Mm-hmm.
just think of them. I would always like think of them in my head and just let them, like, never even try them. But I remember around that time, that was the first time I felt like, okay, if you have an idea, try it. Like maybe it can happen, or maybe like 60% of it or something could happen. So it's like just try it, and just kept going from there, just seeing, oh, like all this stuff is possible.
Right. And like you put and you're like you put like I mean, like there are a lot of people who just kind of get up and go and make a video like on their phone, which is great, and I love that that happens.
Hmm.
But it was so dope to see that like there was so much effort and so much like detail, and like Psalm 62, like it looked so professional, you
Yeah,
know, in a way that I feel like people just kind of take for granted. And it was dope to
it's
see
crazy
that
because
happen the way it did.
we probably spent a total of maybe I'd say like $100, but let's say $200 on the whole video, like just between getting outfits and stuff like that. And then Nehemiah at the time, like he wasn't even doing videos. Like I think he was just graduating school, and he used to do photography, and I would record my features that I would have to do at his house. So I remember I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, bro, like we should just like try to shoot something one day," and like that's literally how it came about. So it was so pure. Like it wasn't like there's this whole thing behind it. It's just like,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, let's just try to do it, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, that's tough, you know, like y'all figured out a way to make it look professional without spending more than like $200. Like that's,
Hmm.
you know, like that type of ingenuity is like, you know, like it matters. It connects with people. And of course, you know, like you kind of, you know, you caught a little groove after that, and you know, you started making a bunch of others. You've done, you know, like at least a dozen that I've seen. You
Hmm.
know, like you've done so many. There's a couple. there's actually a couple that let, let me go open them up real quick, because there's a couple that I wanted to touch on before we get to the song with Ari Lennox.
Okay.
But there's I love the Den of Thieves. The Den of
Yeah,
Thieves is
that's
just
what's
like
one.
the vibe. Yeah, like the vibe of it, like just like how like it's so fun, and it's also like a little silly and like overblown, and just like,
Mhm.
like as somebody who like used to go to church as a kid, like of course like I know that environment, but it
Yeah.
was just like fun to see you kind of do that and like put your own spin on it. So like talk to me about putting the Den of Thieves together and like how that went.
So the Den of Thieves, it was actually like the song was, I wouldn't say it was old, but it was definitely not that new. It was an idea that I had, I think, months before that. And then I always wanted to do it, but I always knew it was gonna take so much. Like that video was gonna take a lot. And so I just kind of always put it off because I don't even want to deal with that at this time. So we was working on my album, and then my new videographer, his name is Ryan. Or I'm sorry, his name is Leroy Zal. He goes by Leroy Exela, and he was just like, "Bro, we got to try this one. Like, I know you played for the song. We got to give it a shot." So I think that church, that was like one of my childhood churches, like that I used to go to. So I feel like that's how I always envisioned it in my head, because that's the church I used to go to. So I
Mhm.
just asked him. I was like, oh, I think my dad actually asked him. He's like, yeah, my dad asked him, like, can you just use it for this video? And everybody at that church is like super supportive of me and all that stuff. So they're like, oh no, for sure he got it. So we did it, and then you know, I think we got it done in about 8 hours. It was a rough shoot. Like it was a rough shoot because so many things you got to choreograph and
Oh yeah.
timing and reshoots and the clothes, even like the Visu suit. Like it was just like a lot. So yeah, I'm very proud of that video for sure.
Yeah, and like it's even more impressive because it's like that whole video is done in one shot, and that's not
Yeah.
easy to do. Like you said, it requires a lot of choreography, and
So,
I don't know, like it's just like funny to me. Like it's like really charming in that way. And like similarly, like that's part of the reason why I love the Nefertiti video, because like the Nefertiti one is just like once again like real charming, like real cute. Like this is all, and like one thing I've been noticing about all of them is like the ones that kind of came after Psalm 62 were like most of these are love songs.
yeah,
Like most of them are just like, you really kind of locked in on like I'm gonna write about, either like new love or us trying to figure out love. Like with Nefertiti, like Nefertiti kind of goes through all the different phases in like 60 seconds.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like, like it like that little detail, like the fact that you had made other music about so many other different things, and then we're just like, I'm gonna focus all the stuff I'm posting to socials on love songs. Like,
yeah.
talk to me about putting Nefertiti together. And then even just like the general idea of like, I want this moment to revolve around love songs. Like I think that's a really interesting fixation,
Yeah.
you know?
So Nefertiti, how did that come about? That was uh yeah, I think that was when I was in my era of just like, okay, like I'm a write, and I would kind of call them like always like journal entries. Like I do a
Yeah.
journal entry and then I just like think. And I'm always like thinking as I'm like writing how I want it to look. So boom, we had it. And then my homegirl, Nicole, she's actually from Prince George's County too. So she's just like, oh, you know what? Let's do it. So got the cast together, got the guys together, and we just did that one. That one was pretty quick. I think we got that one done about 2-3 hours. But I think where I was at in general with how I was releasing stuff was just like I'm a very big proponent on like growing with your music. And
Mm-hmm.
like whatever phase you are in life, like just try to always express that in your music, so you don't have to like be stuck in this box. So I think obviously in 2018 I dropped Octavius Vandross, and it's like I had like a whole bunch of different things on there. I had even some like more like R&B type joints on there too. But you know, people kind of really knew me for this like more like a sound cloudy, like trap kind of sound. And you know, I always say like, you know, that's like the that's the zone that I was in at that point in my life. And then, you know, I was getting older, you know what I'm saying? I had my girl, you know, I was just like just an older dude. So I'm just like, okay, like the thing I'm just growing and it's okay to grow, like, and maybe one day I'll want to talk about, you know, my life as like a dad and an uncle. And that's just like you gotta figure out a way to make it fly and do it. But you gotta be okay with growing and not boxing yourself in. So that's always just been really important to me. So that's kind of why I was releasing things like that. Just like this is the zone I'm in right now, and that's what I feel I want to talk about. So that's just what I talk about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. You know, I you know, like I appreciate your bravery and just being able to like stick to your guns about that stuff, because it can be really easy to get pressured to like do a thing that you think is gonna bring you the most the most, and just kind of run it
Yep.
into the ground, and then people get tired of it, you
Yep.
know. And like, you know, just based off of what you've been doing, like everything, you know, like everything kind of led up to not only Ari Lennox making a cameo in one of your videos, but now
Yep.
y'all have a song together, you know. And like
Yep. Yep.
stuff like that only comes from you, you know, like sticking to your convictions and being like, hey, I did this thing. So, you know, just because I'm curious, like, how did the relationship with Ari develop? And talk to me about making the song and how all of that happened. Stay a while. The song is called "Stay a While," by the way.
Okay. Wow.
Sorry,
Yes.
I should have said that.
No. 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 You're good. You're good. So, the Ari relationship, that kind of like, so we have like a mutual friend, like he's like a neighborhood friend. His name's Dave James, amazing producer, singer, writer, all that. And you know, I took a liking to Dave, you know, because he was very like I think musically we definitely like related, like we liked a lot of the same stuff, and you know we had a lot of the same like sensibilities type vibe, definitely musically. So we just became real cool. So he's like, yo, I got this song. And then he played it for me. And I was like, yo, I gotta get on that. So we just working on it. And then this is probably like one of the first times I ever was like, let me really swing and try to like get my vision out on this video. So we huddled up. We with the director at the time, his name was Kennard. And we was like, okay, let's do this video. So we had a meeting, do the room, and then we put the video together. And then we put the video together, and that was actually like, I remember like it kind of like went like baby viral on Twitter. That was like the first time we ever like did something like that. And I was like, oh, everybody loving the video. So I think Ari got wind of it, and then she was like on live, and she had like talked about the video. So that's kind of the first time we got connected, and we just kind of had a cool relationship. She's like real down to earth funny. So we would just like kick it, just laughing, joking, not working on music, just chilling. And then you know, over time, slowly, you know, things just kept building. And you know, she always like she's such an artist. Like she likes the whole like basement, you know, we just rap and put it out tomorrow on SoundCloud. Like she just loves that stuff. So we always really related there. And then, you know, over time, you know, one day we was like, you know, I think it was like over winter break or something like that. We was like, you know, everybody's home, so let's go to the studio and let's just chill and let's just see what happens. So I remember we chilled, and then Dave put on the Stay a While beat, and it was like immediately it was this moment of like, oh, nobody's thinking, nobody's second guessing. Like, let's just get the first idea we do, and we got it, and we just loved it all. And then we was like, I remember there was this moment where we were like, damn, I hope this song really comes out because you do so many songs. Like I know us three together, we probably have like 10 songs. And it's just like, you know,
Sheesh.
they never come out. So it's just like, you know, sometimes you do it and you'll just see. So we had this moment where like, yo, we hope this song really comes out because we really like this song. And you know, it made its way through like at every checkpoint. Like so I'm just so happy that song was able to come out.
Yeah, like that's so beautiful, you know. Like it's like it's nice to know that that relationship's kind of turned into like an actual relationship. And I think just you're talking about moments really is like indicative of like the way that you've approached all of these like singles and songs and videos that you've been dropping for the last like 3-4 years or however long it's been. Like, you know, like you're very you're very much like a moments person. Like
Yeah.
every single is like a snapshot of
Yep.
like a
Yep.
certain of like a certain moment in time. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, like that's kind of that's the place rap's been in for a long time. You know, I feel like most people I know tend to veer toward like singles more than albums. And like I love albums, plenty of people love albums, but just like generally it's like songs that grab people. And I think you really kind of hooked in on that in a way that's people just fuck with it. You know, like it's like very organic, and you've grown something that's really cool. And I'm just like really
Uh,
I'm like geeked to even just like have more of a perspective on how it comes together. Excuse me.
no, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's definitely, just try to keep everything like keep the spirit of, you when you were like you 17, like in the basement just
Yeah.
making music. Like we just try to keep that spirit alive, like in everything we do.
Yeah. And that's what makes it special, because like once again, like you can tell you care,
Yeah.
and you want it to come out a certain way, you want it to feel a certain way, you want it to look a certain way.
Yep.
And like it feels appropriate to ask right now. I never asked this question because it feels so generic, but to before we formally wrap this up,
Mhm.
like what what's next for you? Like, because it's been a while since you put a project out.
Yes.
You've kind of been locked in on just creating these little individual moments. So like, where are you going from here? Like, what's the next step for Foggieraw?
Um, I just, I have so many things like in my head that I want to express, creatively, like, obviously a body of work, that I've been working on, for I guess 6 years now at this point. And, I'm everything's about tied away. So, Lord willing, that goes smooth. And, I have, like movie aspirations and, clothing aspirations and, so many different things. So I guess like I can't really say what's next because, these things, they just kind of find you when you need them to find you type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
right time, it just all aligns. So I just know that I have aspirations I want to do, and I'm just trying to like stay ready to be able to execute them.
that's tight, bro. I
Hmm.
love that. You know, like it's definitely better to keep that stuff close to the chest and just kind of let people see it when they see it.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and to formally wrap this up, um, Foggy, if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
If my life was a movie, it would be about. It would definitely be about. It would be like I feel like it would be like I don't know if you've ever seen Joseph and the King of Dreams.
If I have, it's been years.
It's been
I
years. Like
know
it's like that
I know what
cartoon
it is,
movie.
but yeah,
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 it would.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it would be like that. Just like a story about someone's life. Obviously it ties into God, but like you see this person's life. The ups and downs, the triumph. But I feel like I would like my life to be a story about triumph and overcoming.
I love that because The Prince of Egypt is one of my favorite movies ever, and I remember when that came out, and then Joseph King of Dreams came out right after. I
Mhm.
thought it was a sequel because the animation style is so similar.
Yeah, yeah.
Were there songs in Joseph King of Dreams? I
There
can't
was some
remember.
songs. There was some songs.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, because like I was way more locked in with Prince of Egypt, and everyone knows that Prince of Egypt has tons of songs in it. The soundtrack's
Yeah.
amazing. The soundtrack was one of my favorite CDs growing up.
Hmm.
Um, like just like so much gospel in the Mariah Carey song "When You
Yeah.
Believe." Like you know,
Yeah.
but like I love that answer because you know those movies, you know, like those movies are like very comforting, and like the animation's nice and the music's gorgeous, and you know,
Yes.
like once again, you know, like stories of triumph
Yep.
and just like perseverance. and all that. That's I like that answer. That's a good answer. Also just an excuse to. I'm so surprised that the Prince of Egypt has never come up on this podcast before, but it's
that's it. That's one of them ones, man, for real.
Yeah, that movie's classic. I love
it.
I've
never seen an adult. I've never seen like a cartoon movie be so adult. Obviously, like, we have like kind of the Boondocks, but I feel like the Boondocks doesn't have like the super kid, and that's not a movie, but it doesn't have like the super kid elements. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but this was like so masterfully done, like a kid movie that felt so mature and adult and kiddie at the same time too. So I love it.
Yeah, like that was like both of those, like both Prince of Egypt and Joseph were very like, they were some of the earliest examples of like I wouldn't call them adult animation, but like they were kind of like mature, and it was definitely far removed from like a Nickelodeon cartoon
for sure,
or like a Cartoon Network show or some shit. Like, it was definitely one of the earlier examples of like, oh, this can be serious, quote unquote. So like that, like that sticks in my head, and I'm happy to see it does for you too. That's tight. I fuck with that.
Absolutely, bro.
But man, thank you, man. I love this conversation. This was so fun and illuminating, and like
it was, man.
Just like thank you for the work. Thank you for caring. Like thank you for the care and thought, and just like and just like the way you write, and just like the smooth, slick shit. Like, we all need more smooth, slick shit in our lives.
Y'all do. Come on, now. We all do.
Yeah, man. This was a really cool one, and I appreciate you just taking the time, and once again, just like doing what you do, and like sticking to your convictions, and really making this into something special that people really like. So just thank you for that.
No, you already know. Thank you so much, bro, for your platform and how much you care about the details. And I always resonate with people like that, because I don't really do any interviews at this point. So when they told me about this, I was like, oh yeah, like I love all your stuff. I had already seen some, and I was just like, yep, like this is a no-brainer, because you care.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, like that.
Who care, they gotta stick together, man. They gotta stick together, because people don't care out here, bro.
Yeah, we're all we got, man. Like that it means a lot to hear you say that. You never know who's listening. Like,
absolutely.
when Ida and Kiara reached out to me about like, oh yeah, like we would love to have him on, I was like, the fact that they even knew that this was a thing that existed was, I don't know, like I'm continually surprised by who gives a shit about what I do. So just like that's real. So thank you.
Yeah, no, and I'm always here supporting it, bro. Like, you're doing crazy, and like, I gotta say again, thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, man, same here. Like, thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far, and shout out to all the Black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.